Hi guys, my name's James. Thanks for coming to watch. And today is a really fun one, I think. And this is where I'm going to try and create that Dumble tone. Now, just a very, very brief thing. What is a Dumble amp? A Dumble amp is probably one of the rarest. It's definitely the most expensive, one of the most mythical and famous amplifiers ever created by Mr. Dumble. Now, he's an enigmatic character, apparently difficult to deal with. Would only take the orders of people that he really, really liked, I think. It's reported that he'd heard Robin Ford playing on some sort of amp. I think a Fender, maybe it was a Fender Bassman in some club. And he then Alexander Dumble decided that he wanted to tinker around with the Bassman and create his own amp. And from there grew the Dumble amps. There have been about 5 different lines, from sort of overdrive specials to, I think there's steel stringers or steel special, something like that. And then who's played them and what sounds do they have they made famous? Well, Robin Ford himself, I think he normally is using a Les Paul. Carlos Santana is quite famous for having Dumble amps, along with his Mesa Boogie. And then Stevie Ray Vaughan and John Mayer are on the other end of the spectrum, I guess, in terms of the sound they create. So why am I interested in it? Well, I can't afford a Dumble amp. If you don't know what they are, then you won't know they cost somewhere from £70,000 upwards. I think maybe the rarest ones might be a couple of £100,000 for an amplifier. I mean, he did only create 300 or so, and each one of them is slightly different. And it took him a long time to make, and obviously they're very rare. From what I've read, John Mayer has collected several. Stevie Ray Vaughan had a few at the time. And, you know, they've just got that status whereby if you could get hold of one, well, you know, that is the top of the pyramid, so to speak. So I want to get close to the sound, but the thing is, people say, oh, is that amp got a Dumble sort of sound? Well, the thing is that each Dumble amp was different, and on top of that, there were different models. So you have to sort of define what it is you're going for. Now, I'm going to put a couple of videos in the link, and one of those is Mick Taylor of That Pedal Show, and also Guitarist magazine, I think previously, playing a Dumble overdrive special. And for me, that's a wonderful, wonderful sound. I think he's a great guitar player, actually. He's great at demoing guitars and he's passionate, and that comes across. Anyway, he spends about 15 minutes playing, so I'll put that link, go and watch that, and then I'll see what else I can find, if I can get Robin Ford playing his or someone else who plays in a different style. So Mick Taylor is going for, I think, the more he goes from Stevie Ray Vaughan and John Mayer-ish sort of tones, kicks in the overdrive, but it's all pretty transparent. Now that's the sound that I am after. So what you heard at the beginning of this was me playing on my Tone King Sky King. I'll put the tone, I'll put the picture of where the dials are set on top of this so you can see that. Now I'm playing this little piece that I just want to record for Facebook. You know, I put a few videos up on Facebook here and there just for my friends and family, really. It's just fun for me to do. So I'm playing this sort of bluesy thing, which I want to be transparent. I want that Strat sound, which is why I've not brought my Les Paul down. I think we'll make another video about this. I just want to get one great tone out of this Wampler pedal. Now, Wampler is a great boutique pedal maker, one of the godfathers of these boutique pedals. And this Euphoria pedal is supposed to be a transparent overdrive. Now, in the manual itself, he talks about it having a Dumble sound, and one of the 4 tone sort of diagrams he puts in there for the settings is called D Ford. So that's going to be Dumble and Robin Ford. Now I'm going to save that for the video where we do this with the Les Paul, because Robin Ford plays a Les Paul. I'm trying to go for a more John Mayer-esque, maybe not quite as sort of tube screamery overdriven as Stevie Ray Vaughan, but I just want to be able to kick in a little bit of a boost and keep it transparent. And also, the thing is, here's the thing about Dumble amps, what they all known for is the transparency, but also the dynamic range. And they've got great bottom and top end and middle middle tones. They have all the frequencies. And the other thing is the way that you can attack, you know, it's really dynamic depending on how you play. Those amps are capable basically of transferring everything that you do, which I guess makes them, you know, not amps for beginners. I certainly wouldn't warrant playing at an actual Dumble, but if I can, for £150 for this pedal, get some sort of Dumble tone. So let's define what we're trying to get. Okay, so I have my standard Strat tone, which I'm enjoying. And I then want to be able to kick it up. I don't necessarily want the volume to go much higher, so we'll play with the volume tone. But I want to kick in a bit of overdrive, so you've got the gain on here. I want to start breaking up the tubes a bit more, which is how you can use the volume and the gain on here. The volume on here is designed to create that sort of broken up sound. Then the tone and the bass. Well, the bass I think is really important because Dumble amps are known for having gorgeous sort of fatter low ends, but they're not mushy in any way. Everything is transparent, everything comes across really well. So I've set it up here in what is a setting from the manual, which if I can find my phone somewhere on the floor, I'll tell you how he describes that. In the manual, it's called light and glassy, giving a bit of boost to what is already there. So let's just try that. I thought that was a good place to start. So I'm just going to turn the volume down a bit because, as I said, I don't want it necessarily to get louder. So here's the actual Strat tone. And then if we kick it in. Okay, so light and glassy. I think it's the glassy side of this that actually isn't quite right. Dumbles, from what I can hear, have more substance to them, more fatness, it's juicier. So glassiness may not work. So I think we're going to have to bring the tone down and then turn the gain up and the bass up. So I'm going to do this hopefully speedily. So from the Strat. Okay, so that gets you somewhere, but for me it's not a wow tone yet. I think one of the keys here is going to be to bring in more bass to fatten it up. So I'm just going to turn that, well, let's keep reminding ourselves. So okay, yeah, that's definitely fattened things up a bit. Let's try turning the volume down so that I can then increase the gain up to about here. No, that just gets muddier. So let's go the other way. Let's bring the gain down, but whack the volume up. That actually might be more interesting in terms of getting that Dumble tone. Let's see what, just want to play with the tone just so you can see. Ooh, okay. What I want with the tone is I don't want any particular frequency to be spiky or to completely overshadow the rest. You want thick lower ends and you want sort of, what does Robin Ford say? I think he says it just sounds good. Doesn't matter how loud it is, it won't hurt your ears. So you don't want that sort of spiky, overly glassy sort of sound. So let's hit that with a bit of venom. It's getting better. Just turn that down a slight bit. The other thing to say with this pedal is that it's really sensitive, which is great. Honestly, great value for money pedal, and it sounds great, but you can really make small tweaks. Okay, let's see what difference, if that made any difference at all. just to remind ourselves when it's off. So we're getting really close here to a tone that I love, whether it's Dumbly or not. Dumbly, sorry, whether it's close enough to a Dumble tone or not, it's going to be slightly subjective. I definitely don't want this video to be just clickbait. I am actually trying to get a Dumble tone, but it's going to be different for everyone, different for every need. And so I'm going to make several short videos about this using different guitars, different settings, and we'll try and figure it out. But I think for a first attempt to get that transparent overdrive with plenty of sustain, lots of juicy fat end, and just a really gorgeous sound, I think this is pretty close. Let's just go for one more second. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit to give it a bit more gain. I just want to see what happens there. A bit more tone. Well, there you go, guys. I'm pretty happy with it. Whether we can call it Dumble or not, that's a tone that I'm going to take a picture of. That's what I'm trying to do from now on, is take a picture on my phone, maybe mark it up so I can say what I was going for. Actually, that's a tip for all of you if you're not doing that already. You just tend to lose these tones, otherwise they just go flying off. So there we go. I hope either you learnt something or you've got something interesting to tell me. So leave a comment down below. If you like this sort of thing, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for our next episode. I'll keep that a secret about what the next episode is. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. See you next time.